Wearing color does not need to be intimidating, and it's so easy to overcomplicate everything. So in today's video, I want to go over the easiest way to wear color. These are my tips that I figured out over the last couple of years. They consider everything you need to consider about a color, but really simplify it in a way that makes it really accessible, so that as you branch out of your neutrals and you start bringing color into your wardrobe and your color palette, you can do so with a lot of confidence and be really happy with your outfits. So let's get started. So my first tip is to always consider the emotion of a color. I have so many videos about this on my channel. I will link to my color playlist for you. And essentially, when we look at a color, we feel different things. So there are some universally agreed upon emotions, and then there's some that you just feel yourself based on your personal experience and your memories. So tapping into both of those can be really helpful to kind of point you in the right direction. So you figure out if you like pink or you prefer red, and you kind of find your footing on that scale. And that's a great place to start, because if you're trying to force a color that you don't instinctively like, and one that doesn't make you feel great when you look at it, then it's going to make it so much harder down the line. My next tip is that it all comes down to the contrast. When you're putting colors together, and especially as you're wearing them within one outfit, understanding the contrast levels between those colors can either soften the color or really push it forward. So let's take black, for example. I think a lot of us have the color black in our wardrobe. And if you're working with the color green, maybe you've got a light green and a dark green. If you take that black and you pair it with light green, that's going to be a higher contrast. The difference between the light green and the dark green is very, very big. So that's going to make the green stand out even further, making it more of a focal point. But if you instead go for like a really dark green, a dark green is going to be so much closer to black that they're going to almost blend together. It softens the contrast level and makes them both feel more subdued. My next tip is to stick to no more than 2 colors, especially when you're first starting to get comfortable with colors. So I like to go with a neutral and then an accent color. It tends to be the most accessible because most of us have neutrals in our closet to begin with. So the example I used earlier of the green and the black, your black would be your neutral and green would be your color or your accent color. So sticking to those two can be really helpful as you kind of get your footing and figure out what you like. But then as you get more comfortable, you can go into 3 colors. And I love the 3 color rule because especially as you figure out those combinations that you love, and maybe you start to branch out of your neutrals and you start pairing color with color, and you have more than one accent color in an outfit, you can repeat those colors throughout your outfit and it makes it very cohesive. So keeping that styling perspective in mind allows you to work within more than just neutrals, but still again create those really beautiful, balanced, cohesive outfits. Our eye has a place to travel when we repeat something, and repeating a color is a really beautiful way to tie it all together. Now similarly, monochromatic always works. So you can start with a monochromatic neutral outfit, so maybe all tan, all white, all black, all blue, and then you can add your accent color on top of it, maybe in an accessory like a bag or a hat or a necklace. And then if you wanted to then take it one step further, you can start doing monochromatic with those colors that you're loving and your accent color that you love. So let's say green is a color you're really leaning into, or maybe pink. You can wear all shades of green head to toe. It's going to create such a beautiful monochromatic outfit and allow you to really lean into what could become a signature color. And I think it's such a beautiful, intentional way to play with color. So once you consider the emotion of something, you figure out if you like it to be lighter or darker, you can really start playing with those combinations within an outfit to create something really memorable. Now, as you're starting to branch outside of those neutrals and bring those accent colors into your wardrobe, my recommendation is to keep everything as similar to what you're used to as possible. So I'm going to use the example of a sweater. If you know that you love a basic crew neck sweater, you love cashmere, you like long sleeves, and you like it to have a little bit of a crop, then you're going to keep that all exactly the same, but just change the color of the sweater. That way you know how to style it. It's going to be flexible with the other items in your wardrobe, and you're not going to feel overwhelmed by more than one decision at a time. So the decision is only the color and what to pair that with, and not how to style a totally new silhouette. And it's a really intentional way to build out your closet, and I found it to be incredibly helpful. And the last thing I recommend as you start to bring color into your wardrobe is to consider just one piece at a time. So similar to what I mentioned earlier, but this is kind of a one and done outfit approach. So a dress is a really great example of that. Dresses are so easy because it's just one item. You're not having to worry about what to pair it with. It removes the complication of what colors are going to go with it or not go with it. And you can use the example of what I'm wearing today. It's a really long dress and it's got a lot of color on it, but I've gone with my standard gold jewelry, and the only other choice I need to make is my shoes and my bag. So it really eliminates that decision decision fatigue, especially as you're starting to get comfortable with color and figuring out which ones you love and which ones make you feel your best. Those are my tips for bringing color into your wardrobe and wearing color the easiest way possible. They've been really helpful for me as I've built out my personal color palette, and I hope that they can help you as well. At the end of the day, I always want fashion to be really accessible, and I want to give you the tools necessary so that then you can personalize everything and make it feel very authentic to you. And speaking of that, I've been working on something really exciting the last couple years. YouTube is great, but it has its limitations, and I think that this will allow us to go even further. So if you would like to be one of the first to know and definitely be involved when the launch comes, I'm going to put a link in the description box down below where you can sign up. And like always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Have a great day.